I finally saw the movie, and I just want to say congrats. It's fantastic.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
Thank you very much.
I sincerely fantastic.
Right.
So I like throwing a curveball at the beginning. If someone has actually never seen anything that either of you have done before, what is the first thing you'd like them watching and why?
Honestly, Swiss Army Man, because like throw them in at the deep end, and I yeah, because I think that's really like I've always said if there's one scene, like if everything in my career was going to be destroyed except for one scene, the scene on the bus in
Mm.
Swiss Army Man, I think is like the most beautiful thing that I've ever been a part of. So like yeah,
Oh.
that.
The first season of Westworld. Anything. I would probably start with that because I do a little bit of everything, I think. So you get the whole range.
These are both great choices. So one of the things I can't imagine what it was like reading the script for this for the first time and seeing the way it satirizes the musical biopic and just biopic in general. It's so good. What was it like for you, for both of you, reading the script for the first time?
Well, yeah, it was that. It was going like, oh, not only is this like a parody of musical biopics and biopics, as biopics should be, but it's also like incredibly good at that. It's incredibly well executed. It's incredibly thorough. They do not miss a trope, whether it's like the angry father, the repressive parents, or the moment of instant inspiration when songs just like somebody literally says the words to a song and they start writing it immediately. It felt really like they'd had an idea and then gone, okay, what is every single way we can delve into this? It was a great read.
Yeah, it was literally just as funny on the page, and that's when I knew it was going to be great, is when I was already laughing out loud just reading it, and just picturing it. I just knew it was going to be amazing.
One of the things I couldn't believe when I was researching to talk to you guys is how short your schedule was to make this movie. I'm stunned by what ended up on screen. Can you sort of talk about that you really made this in like a day, and I'm joking, but like a day and a half and a roll of duct tape?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of. Look, I love fast moving films and things like that. So it wasn't a problem. It was just, I will say, the second to last time I spoke to Eric before we started the movie, I said to him, like, I think he was coming on being like, it's fine. We got 21 days to shoot it, or like we got 20 days to shoot it. I think we can get it done in that time. It's going to be tight, but we're good. And then the next time I spoke to him, he was like, okay, so we've just gone down to 18, but I still think it can work. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm just fully having to trust you that that's even possible, because I don't know. But it was like it was, because he was prepared, and it was amazing, and everyone who was in the film was on it and prepared, and it's spoiled me for other jobs in terms of what you can achieve in a short space of time.
I feel like Drunk History really prepared people for this film, because there were a lot of like similar crew members on Weird Al, and they have to shoot those episodes, all of the stuff that takes place in history in like one day. And it shocked me when I did that show just how much they were able to cover so quickly. And so when I found out that this was also Funny or Die and we had 18 days, I was like, well, if anybody can do it.
No, it's a really good point, actually. Like that so much of the crew came
from there,
job, and like there are very few people who have got that kind of experience and making things that look this good and making them that fast.
Exactly.
Also, the thing that I think people don't really realize is when you make a project, you really never know how it's going to turn out. You could have the greatest script and the movie doesn't work, and you can have anyway. But this turned out so fantastic. It won the People's Choice Award for Midnight Madness. And so I'm just can you sort of talk about that like this has to have turned out even better than you thought it was going to be going in?
I already had pretty like high. You can feel it when you're doing a film. I don't know. At least for me, I'm sure that's not true for everybody. But usually, you can tell on set. There's a feeling. There's an energy. There's a vibe. It's clicking. Something's working. You never know until the second you sit down and watch the movie. But we just had so much fun making it, and everybody wanted to be there. And it was such a passion project for everybody involved that it was just like, how can this not be great? And then just seeing what Daniel was doing, like, I was like, we're fine.
That's very kind. I was not sure. Because I never am, and I find it really hard to be objective about stuff that I'm in, and my own stuff in it. but yeah, it's absolutely like my expectation for the film was that it was going to come out and have like not a similar reaction to Swiss Army Man, maybe not quite that divisive, but that there would be like people that would absolutely love it, and then there would be people who like weren't as into it. So it's been nice that like so far it's been a very very positive reaction from people, and like, you know, from Al fans most importantly, which is great news.
You guys have such great scenes together as Al and Madonna, and I didn't expect the relationship to go the way it did. Can you sort of talk about your scenes together, because they're so good, and they're, and I don't want to ruin it for people, and so funny in the way that it all goes.
I mean, we laughed a lot, but not too much because we didn't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
and so we really had to hold the laughter in as much as possible. But we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really.
And they are like, they're such fun. Like the turning point where Al just places himself completely in her, just like has met her for originally. That was the only thing I think I missed from the script, from the original script, that had to be cut for time. Was originally there was like an extended rom-com montage
yeah.
with the two of us like doing all the things and like getting balloons and like doing, and then it seems to take place over weeks, and then you find out it's been like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a fast and tempestuous relationship.
Yeah.
My last question for you, and I'll try to do this brief because I'm just about out of time. I love talking about the way actors like to prepare for a role. And I'm just curious, if you have like a big scene on a Monday morning, you know, it's either emotional or dramatic, or it's, you know, it's a big scene. How early on are you getting ready for that as an actor in terms of, you know, preparing for that moment? Is it way in advance? Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it varies. It could be
varies.
like if there's one scene that in the film that is the thing that's kind of worried you, you might have been thinking about it for weeks and do last minute stuff just before. But generally speaking, like I suppose like the weekend before, if you're on a Monday, that'll be enough time to like sort out whatever you're going to be doing or how you're going to approach it. But I don't know.
I mean, I usually just know the lines as well as I possibly can, and I try not to think too much about the performance, because then I'm going to psych myself out if it's like a big emotional scene or it's something I just want it to be so free flowing on the day. And like it's hard for me to even do like rehearsals for those scenes without having the emotion be right there, so I have to hold it back a lot. But the first thing I always do when I start a project is make a playlist, and I make a playlist that matches like the script and the character or the scenes that I'm doing, and like that becomes my sort of roadmap.
On that note, I need to stop. I'm just going to say again, congrats on this. You guys did great work. I hope everyone watches. Thank you for your time.